I just dropped my son off at camp for 4 weeks this summer. He's done 2 weeks in the previous summers, but this is the first time he's going for a whole month to sleepaway camp. And I have recently been so triggered by different reactions I've had from other moms talking about my son going to camp for a month. And these are mom friends of mine that are relatively new that I've met in the last couple months through my kids' different activities. And some of them are my very best friends. And I know that no one means ill will or they don't mean to trigger me. But when women say, their moms are like, I could never do that. I could never send my kid to sleepaway camps for 4 weeks. How are you doing that? And I just kind of freeze and I think, is there something wrong with me that I can do that? Like, because they're almost inherently suggesting in the question that like something's wrong with me, that I could be away from my kid for a month. And I don't think they mean it like that, but that is how I receive it. And so I just have been thinking a lot the last couple days, like, is there something wrong with me? Do I have a chip missing? Where lots of women who are moms say they under no circumstances could be away from their child for a month. And I'm kind of like, I can do it with gladness in my heart, knowing that he's going to have a great time and it's going to be such a good experience for him. Like no month with a screen, without screens. And it's been reminiscent of how I felt when I was thinking about getting divorced and how I just felt very alone. I felt strange. I thought, is something wrong with me? Am I totally different than everyone else? Does anyone else ever think about divorce? And I realized that I have been similarly triggered with people wondering how I could let my kid go to camp for a month. Like, why could you get divorced? Or why or how could you get divorced? Like, that's different than the norm, or that's weird, or you're odd. And I just realized that it's so important to get to a place of not feeling like you're weird or odd just because you're doing something possibly different than the norm. Granted, I have a number of friends who do send their kids to camp, but I have a lot of friends that don't, and it's similar with divorce. So part of my hope in my work with my clients is to help them feel less alone. And if they're also struggling with thoughts of, I'm weird, this is different, something's wrong with me, do I have a chip missing? Is it okay to possibly do this? I'm there to guide them and give them support and tools to help them know they're not weird, they're not alone. If it ends up being the right call for them in their marriage, like it's okay. And it's okay to be different. And there are resources and people like me that can help individuals feel less alone in the process and the journey. And I'm just really enjoying walking alongside people because I know one of the worst parts of this season that I've been in the last 5 or 6 years was just feeling so alone. And like I was strange and different and couldn't talk to anyone about it who had any sort of semblance of recognition of what I was feeling. And I love doing this work with people. So if you or someone you know is struggling and feeling alone and weird and different, please reach out to me and I'll send you my free guide.